what do all these people have in common? The answer? They all meditate. And what does this have to do with an average Joe? Well, that's me, and I meditate too. So, what does any of this have to do with a 44-year-old average Joe doing 36,000 push-ups in 30 days? Or any other fitness activity like boxing, cycling, basketball, soccer, weightlifting, football, swimming, running, surfing? Anything really. How can mindfulness meditation be adapted into any kind of fitness routine? And more importantly, why? It's no longer a surprise these days to read about a high-profile sports team or athlete who meditates. But in a practical sense, why would you use it for your 30-day challenge, training to make your high school varsity team, run your first marathon, or working out at your local gym? There are two prominent reasons why. First, meditation amplifies your ability to focus. And second, it creates the mind space, so to speak, as the window of opportunity to reframe your reality. Let's slow things down and explain what's going on in this time lapse. First, I selected a private and quiet place in my home to perform these mindful push-ups. Before I began, I turn external stimuli off like my phone, music, and the television. I use a yoga mat for the purpose of providing a thin cushion and non-skid surface for my hands. I begin my session in my resting pose. This is the position I take when I'm in between each set. I fold an ordinary towel to use as a cushion for my knees. With this position, rather than sitting cross-legged or lying down to rest in between the sets, I can enter into the push-up position easily. I interlace my fingers and rest my arms and body like this during meditation and recovery. I don't let them dangle to my sides, as this posture signals a kind of defeatist stance within my mind. Instead of a rigid military position, which is tense and burns unnecessary fuel during recovery, my stomach is relaxed as well as my shoulders, but I'm not slouching. My aim is simply to be still and avoid fidgeting or any kind of unnecessary body movements that will burn energy. Here, I'm trying to be as comfortable and efficient as possible. Now, I'm ready to do the first set of 48 sets of push-ups with 25 reps each. I'm not looking to break any time records. I simply let my body dictate the tempo, which varied greatly during my 30-day challenge. It's very important to avoid injury, to not shift or do any unnecessary movements like tilt your head to any side or move in a way that twists your body. In between each set, I use a child's abacus to record that set and my overall progress. I'm completely unplugged, so this is a really low-tech yet effective method to substitute for keeping count. I find that trying to count how many push-ups I have done or left to go is too much of a distraction or interference for my mind, and the abacus efficiently takes care of this. Once back in my resting pose, I lock onto a visual anchor directly across from me, which is the vertical lever on my window blind. My focus is gentle, the kind similar to looking at something that doesn't carry the weight of a story or provide imagery. In other words, what this visual anchor does is provide a space for my attention or focus to return to, just like a boat anchored in the water. My thoughts can easily lure me away from exercising this highly effective focus-building technique, similar to leaving the boat to explore the water below. If I'm not careful, I can get lost in the current of my thoughts. As soon as I become aware that I drifted off, I immediately return back to my visual anchor. I believe that it goes without saying that focus or intense concentration is a critical element for success in training and certainly during sport competitions. As the old adage goes, in order to win, you need to have your mind in the game, and this technique actually improves your ability to focus. Simultaneously, and just as crucial, it helps your mind avoid low frequency or negative dialogue that will hinder your fitness or competitive performance, like telling yourself, "This is too hard," or "I can't do this." Another anchor I use that we all have readily available is the natural rhythm of our breathing. Because of world-renowned psychologists like Csikszentmihalyi, we've known about the idea of flow or being in the zone, a superhuman kind of focus, for quite some time. Yet this natural phenomena appeared as a byproduct or organic consequence of doing an activity. In other words, it was often believed that it wasn't something you could learn, it just happened. In recent years, there have been a number of studies linking regular meditation and enhanced focus. Neurologists like Giuseppe Pagnoni have used functional magnetic resonance imaging, or fMRI scans, to track brain activity during meditation, and concluded that it is effective at developing the ability to limit the influence of distracting thoughts. Using meditation anchors to exercise my mind's ability to focus during this 30-day push-up challenge is a really simple technique to learn, yet very difficult to do. Without fail, in between my push-up sets, when I would go into my resting pose and lock into my anchors, my mind would wander or detach from those anchors. Sometimes it lasted for just a few seconds, and other times much, much longer, where if I wasn't aware, I'd get involved deeper and deeper and potentially swept away by the current of a false story or dialogue. The trick to using this highly effective focus building technique is once you become aware that your mind or thoughts have lured you away, you simply return back to the anchor and repeat the process again and again and again. Now, the reshaping of your reality can occur in a couple of ways. One way is that after your meditation practice is over, you will have the opportunity to reflect on some of your most dominant thoughts. When you're not meditating and going about your daily routines, because you didn't label or judge your thoughts, left them aside during meditation, and then entered into a much more peaceful state or sacred space, you might find yourself organically choosing or selecting that sense of calm over the turbulence of an internal drama that might be playing in your head. That is, you realize you have a choice between experiencing a calm peace or a painful chaos. Finally, the other way you can reshape your reality is by using mantras or positive affirmations during any point in your practice. Just by uttering a phrase in repetition like, "I got this," or "I am strong." As long as you truly believe in what you are saying, it will have a powerful effect on the way you physically feel. Essentially, what you are doing here is flexing your ability to form and reorganize the synaptic connections of your brain, also known as neuroplasticity. And, soon enough, you'll be successfully completing your 30-day challenge. This is Joe, and thanks for watching. For more information, please visit zenitup.com for inspiration, before and after photos, tips on how you can crush your 30-day push-up challenge, and more.